I'm Hope Grant. I travel all over, meet great people, and have adventures as I search out history's secrets. Come and join me. I'm a kid. I'm a historian. I'm the Kidstorian.
Hi, I'm the Kidstorian, and we're at the Air and Space Museum in Washington, D.C.
There's so much stuff here. It would take days to see everything. There are things to do and touch, and experiments to try, even ones little kids can do. There are IMAX films in 3D, a planetarium that will take you soaring through the universe, and fighter jet simulators you can fly yourself, and talk about history. Here a person can follow the entire timeline of flight, from Leonardo da Vinci's ornithopter to today's newest spacecraft.
National Air and Space Museum opened in 1976, and they have over 50,000 objects and artifacts. Can you believe that? But they only have enough room to store 5,000 of the artifacts and objects. As you can see, this is a pretty cool place. They have the Spirit of St. Louis and the Wright Brothers play. Can you believe right behind me is the actual Wright Brothers 1903 flyer? Of course it's refurbished.
When people talk about the Wright brothers, they usually mean Orville and Wilbur, but there were actually 4 boys and 1 girl in their family. Orville and Wilbur Wright were very inventive. As adults, they designed and built their own printing press, owned a bicycle shop, and developed their own bikes. After they experimented with kites and gliders, they decided in 1900 to try to build a self-propelled manned aircraft. After a lot of work and a lot of mess-ups, Orville and Wilbur succeeded with their bi-wing 1903 flyer, which used an ingenious idea called wing warping. The Wright brothers were great out-of-the-box thinkers and didn't give up when things got hard. Leonardo da Vinci lived in the 1400s and 1500s. He was great at a lot of things, including painting and inventing. Recognize this? It's the Last Supper. And this one you probably know is the Mona Lisa. Evidently, he was pretty interested in inventing the flying machine because he came up with several designs.
Check it out! Right above me is Leonardo da Vinci's ornithopter. Of course, he just drew it. They built it. Right here we have the X-15, which was the fastest and highest plane in the world. Right here we have the Spirit of St. Louis. It went from New York to Paris without stopping for anything, not even a potty break. When you come here, you definitely need to be prepared for lots and lots of lines. Check this out. This is the largest canyon in the solar system. Earth. But Jupiter's scary.
Jupiter may not look big on your screen, but it's really humongous. I got to try landing a plane on a carrier.
Oh, seriously? What are you doing? Get back over there and full steam ahead.
All of this carrier stuff was really cool.
Somewhere I think I've read that this planetarium shows, the Einstein planetarium shows, will have me gripping my armrests. Do you think that's good or bad? I guess I'll find out. excited. We did barrel rolls. You can go full speed, you can go up, you can go down. Pretty much anything you like. Just make sure to hit the enemy. Red Bull Stratos exhibit. Can you believe that's his actual suit that he used? This guy actually broke the sound barrier with his body. Well, it's been a great day at the National Air and Space Museum, so see you tomorrow at the Udvar-Hazy Center, which actually holds an SR-71 Blackbird and an actual real-life space shuttle. It's day 2 on Kidstorian here in Washington, D.C., and it's $15 per vehicle for parking, but I think it's worth it. There's the Stephen F. Udvar-Hazy Center. Like I said, I think it's going to be worth it. I have to wear my pilot glasses.
The Udvar-Hazy Center is a really big place. There aren't many things for kids to do or touch, but the enormous collection that they have will make your jaw drop. Here, you don't have to bump into people all the time, and I didn't have to stand in a single line, not even for the simulators. There's an IMAX here too, showing all kinds of cool shows, even 3D ones. This guy was really nice. He helped me learn to fly a Cessna 150.
You're really turning the rudder.
Look, more simulators. This SR-71 Blackbird that's right behind me was the top of its technology in the Cold War.
From the 1960s through the 1990s, the SR-71 Blackbird did reconnaissance missions for the United States. You could call it a spy plane. Even though it flew super high and super fast, the cameras it had could take such detailed pictures that you could read parts of a newspaper if it were laying on the ground. There's a reason the pilots wore stuff that looked like spacesuits. They went so high in the air they almost touched space. SR-71s could go almost 4 times the speed of sound, and none of them were ever shot down because they could outrun missiles. How's that for spy equipment?
I'm glad this thing isn't running because it would hurt me. Discovery Space Shuttle. This thing actually went into space and came back. Can you believe that? That's actually pretty cool. And it's huge.
Space Shuttle Discovery went into space a whopping 39 times. It spent a total of 365 days in space. That's a whole year's worth of orbiting. It has docked with Russian Space Station Mir and the International Space Station. Seeing this thing makes me want to be an astronaut. Spacelab was a really cool idea to make it easier for astronaut scientists from lots of different countries to do experiments in zero gravity.
Here's a space lab.
The Udvar-Hazy Center had consoles all over the place where you could get to see inside of just about anything on exhibit. And there were lots of other things I didn't expect to see. Like these space toys from the mid-1900s.
This is a really cool R2-D2 post office box. So is this phone booth of a Mercury capsule. Well, it's not the Mercury capsule, but it's supposed to look like it. James Irwin actually wore this spacesuit on the moon. And that's why it's so dirty. That's why no one wants to put it in the wash or the dryer.
James Irwin was a pilot who had over 7,015 hours of flight time, most of it in jets. He walked on the moon 3 times during the Apollo 15 mission, and he and his friend, David Scott, collected about 180 pounds of rocks and dirt. That's what makes this dirty suit pretty special. Robert George Fowler used his planes in California to fly over and inspect power lines. He also flew coast to coast from the Gulf of Mexico to the Pacific Ocean.
Across Panama without any emergency stopages and no breaks at all. An hour and 45 minutes later, he arrived. Yes, simulators. Right behind me is the Nieuport, made in Nieuport, France. The French rejected it in favor of new technology. Well, in 1917, when the U.S. entered the war, they took Nieuport under its wing.
In World War I, the Nieuport 28 became the first plane used by America in combat.
The first plane for the U.S. to actually score a victory.
On December 7th, 1941, the Japanese planes attacked Pearl Harbor in Hawaii, where a lot of the U.S. Navy in the Pacific Ocean were anchored. This caused the U.S. to join the Allies in World War II. During the war, the United States fought in Europe and on the Pacific Front. Our armed forces were all over the world. One engagement that helped the United States win the Pacific Front in World War II was dropping 2 atomic bombs, each the size of a large doghouse, one on Hiroshima and one on Nagasaki, which were cities in Japan. It was the first time that an atomic bomb had been used in war. The Enola Gay was the plane that dropped the atomic bomb on the city of Hiroshima. That's what makes the Enola Gay so famous.
We're in the observation tower, seven stories up, and it is in tribute to Don Ingen.
There's so much stuff here, it would be impossible to put it all in one episode. I didn't even get to tell you about the Concorde or any of the other great aircraft here. You'll have to check it out for yourself at the Udvar-Hazy Center near Ronald Reagan National Airport.
Well, signing off is Hope Grant. See you later, next time on Kidstorian.